Hi guys, welcome to the unboxing and quick review of this Sarmert 4K dash cam. It's a 3-channel dash cam, so it has 3 cameras in total, one to the front, one to the inside and one even for the back. It has built-in GPS and Wi-Fi, has even a large touch screen, so you have pretty much everything what we can expect these days. I'm going to take it out of the box and show you how to set it up, and I hope I can also show you some real live footage. So as the packaging says, night vision, parking monitor, touch screen, loop recording. Yeah, that's more or less the basics. What we see, 64 gigabytes. It looks like it comes with a micro SD card included or so. Here also some other information, high temperature resistance, of course, is what we need inside. Supercapacitor instead of normal battery, but it's also pretty much standard. It says a 64 gigabytes memory card is built in into the camera already, so you don't need any additional micro SD card. Also a good thing. I would say 64 gigabytes is large, but of course if you are on the road every day, maybe you want something larger than that, or we can use different settings so we can record for many days. So let's see what we can achieve here. Comes nicely protected, well organized. That's the main device. Yeah, looks pretty solid, I would say. It's heavy but not too heavy. And here we get these 2 additional cameras, one for the inside, one for the back. And here the accessories. There's a lot of cables and the mount as well. So here's what we get, but we get also this instructions manual, so you can see the specs here, very high resolution. For the cabin and the back it's 1080p, but for the front it's up to 4K. And we have built-in microphone and speaker, description of all the parts and the menu. And here a nice chart how we have to install and connect the cables. And of course also very important to know which app we have to download from the Apple or Google Play Store. That's the CAD-CAM. So the central part of the whole installation is this cable here. But of course we have also to power that, so we connect this cable here to the 12-volt cigarette lighter port, something like that. So we see the red light for the power, and then we connect it here. But you don't have to use the power from the 12-volt cigarette lighter port. You can also use any kind of other 5 volts power. Here's even a small USB power cable included, USB-A to USB-C, but you can use any kind of USB-C power. So I have normal 5 volts USB-C, I plug it in and you can see it also works. And the USB-C plug goes into the main camera, and then we have 2 cameras which look pretty much the same. One has some infrared lights and is supposed to be the camera for the cabin, and one is the rear camera. The only difference which is visible is this like button like thing here. The connection goes with these 3.5 millimeter cables, and so we plug in also this one here. Now we have everything connected. The main camera has just one button to turn it on and off. Everything else works on the touch screen, so we can choose the language here. And then we do all the settings like date and time. And so we have a lot of settings also on the device itself, like different resolutions. And we can select which cameras we want to see on the main screen. So either all the 3 cameras, or the front and the rear, or front and the cabin. Then of course we have also this parking mode, but then of course we need a separate power cable.
Parking mode is on. Parking mode is off.
Then something really interesting are the video stamps. So we can activate date and time stamp, driving speed stamp, and GPS coordinate stamp. So this can have positive impact and also negative impact. So you have to know what you're selecting. And you can see so many things which you can set. It's almost endless. And one of the most important things, the touch tone here. I turn this off and now it's more quiet finally. And the storage info, as you can see, we have these 64 gigabytes. Of course, formatted, it's a little bit less, but it looks like there is really no additional micro SD card slot available. So we have to deal with the storage which is available inside. And here we can push on this icon to see the Wi-Fi settings like the SSID and password. So I don't do that, but this is needed to connect the app. In general, I would say the display is responsive, not super responsive, but it's okay for a dash cam. I would say definitely not comparable to a smartphone screen, but it's okay. So sometimes it's difficult to push. So you have to find out where to push. Sometimes when selecting some menu here, it's rather here in the middle and not on this side, as you can see. So I've downloaded and installed the app. And the first thing what we have to do, we have to click in this area and select the Wi-Fi, like the SSID, and provide the password based on the information which you get when you push on this icon here. So I think it's already connected. And so let's click here again. It says connecting. Then we give authorization. And so we have live view here. We can access the files. We can use microphone, switch camera, change the resolution. Then we have access to other settings here. I think pretty much everything here. So it's probably much easier to do all the settings from here than on the camera directly. And to access most of the functions, we have to click on stop. And then we can, for example, also check on the files. Of course, most important thing are the urgent, if you have activated G sensor, or the normal videos. You can see all the videos here with the timestamps. You can click on one and it will show and play directly from here. And if you want to download something, you click on this icon here on the right side, and then it will ask you if you want to download that. The cabin and the rear camera come with these stickers. You can just remove the protection here and then mount it directly to the glass. But you get also some extra stickers. And the main camera comes with this suction cup. Just slide it in here. And then you can turn it around 360 degrees. Of course, it will usually go to the front. And then you mount it to the windscreen, and then you can secure it. You can see it's a nice suction then when you rotate this thing clockwise. So I've made a quick tour trying to capture some footage for you. Nothing too crazy, just mounted the main camera, and it was just during the day. But I think it can give you still quite an impression how this works. And so I also collected some experience regarding file download. So again, you have to stop it, and then you go to file, and then you go to videos, and here you can see the footage. And here it has been recording based on my settings, one video file for every 3 minutes. And this was a huge disadvantage because I can show you that. So here my latest footage, when I click on that, you can see that it is super slow. I mean, it's Wi-Fi, but I guess it's not 5G, or I don't know. It is very, very slow loading. Sometimes it's just showing a couple of seconds and then stopping like here, and then it is stuck for half a minute or so, and then you see a couple of more seconds. And to find really the footage which you need can take a lot of time. And if you really need something, like to record something, then you really have to click here, because it's actually not pre-recorded. I mean, it's pre-recorded, but this is not something which you can save directly. So you really have to click on the camcorder here and stop again. And then you have just like this 12 seconds. We confirm that here. And then it's downloading that. So if you have a 3 minute thing and you have to go to the second minute, maybe even towards the end, then this could take maybe 10-15 minutes. So my suggestion is to use only 1 minute loop recording. This is something which you can set here easily. I think it doesn't have any disadvantages. Just see more images here in the preview, but you can see the time, so it's super easy to find something. Definitely use the 1 minute, not the 3 minute. And then the second problem is how to use or share the footage. I mean, it's not directly on the phone. It looks like it's somehow encrypted. So what we have to do, we have to go back here. and then even leave the direct communication. And when we are out here, we can go to the local album, and now it sits here. That's the video which we have just downloaded, this 12 seconds. We can play that here. We can make this a little bit larger. I hope you can see that. I think the footage quality is not bad. It is quite high resolution. It is a little bit overexposed, but this could help. I think during the night it's not really beautiful footage, but I would say it's useful. Definitely enough resolution, I would say. The resolution definitely enough, and I would say it has quite good stabilization. Of course, it's also a new car which has really good damping. And only when the footage is down here, not up in the direct communication or connection, only when it's down here in the album and you see it, you can click on the right top here. Yeah, when we hit it correctly, then we can share it and upload to Google Photos or so, send it by email or any communication. I have already checked on Google Photos. It looks like when it's sitting here, it's still encrypted, so other apps cannot access this footage. So you always have to click here and then share it from here. So everything looks a little bit complicated. Also the setting here with this cable, I mean, we have a long cable up to the camera and only very short cable from the main camera to the cabin camera, no matter if it's this one or this one. So the whole thing, this part here has to sit somehow on top of the windshield with all these wires, one down, one to the cabin camera and the other one to the rear camera. So much cable you have really on top. And then this cable for the rear camera has to go through the ceiling of the car. I don't understand why they have included the cabin camera into the main device. This is something which I would highly suggest these days. I mean, there are some good things. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. We have the connection, we have the Wi-Fi, we have the GPS, we have a lot, but it's definitely not perfect. But it's up to you to decide. And so if you are still interested, I'll put down the link to the Amazon listing down into the description so you can check it out and order it right from there if you like it. And I hope I've been able to help you a little bit with this video. If you have any questions or comments, just write to the comment section below, and I'm always happy to talk about these things. And if you liked the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching. See you next time.